Be a bastard deity and a real deity. If you can be a deity alive. I wanna be the hand of God and scribe for Allah and talk on his behalf and be his voice and act as his son. And take the pen if you want to be like him. Are Mali the Great? Mali the Great, what Mali was reincarnated now. We're living in the time of gods. Gods are alive. Mali the Great. Mali the Great. King of Africa, the prophetical king. The prophetical king. This is reincarnation. The world has never seen the face of Muhammad. The face of Muhammad. The world has never seen the face of Muhammad. The world will see mine, the prophetical king. There's reasons for this. There's reasons for this. Only God can know. Only God now. I know. This was like day one. Like day one. Like you ever like been on your day one like mission, or like on your day one story, like tale. And then you're like, okay, so I wrote all the timeline. Like, I was the greatest funder, the Al-Jabbar. And you were like, if I was going to give them heavenly entertainment into my time, I want to tell them the story of Isa. And they said I was crazy. I was like, I was what, man? What do you think? Them living and being more than 225 years alive. That's where it starts. And this was day one. This was day one. Adam Christ. Living as moonlight. the first Messiah. Oh, the first Messiah. The first Messiah, the fake prophet. Bastard did. The devil, maybe. Black diamond. The bad one. Like the better one. I've been trying to run up, been through this fitna for forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. That is never gonna end. And this is why. Qrofet was born. Qrofet was born. Qrofet was born. The greatest sword to ever live. Moonlight, the celestial angel living. And I was like, imagine Anu growing up and Anu being 28. The celestial came like coming out with the philosophy that already actually the whole. Not just the philosophy, but the story itself. How do I promise the world that I will write the next 1,000 years? I should wear a suit, I think, or a tie, I think. Maybe. Or I should open a church, I think, I believe. I grew up in the 21st century, you know, with the first one free in my generation, and the first one free in forever. Is a Qrofet, somebody who's gonna tell a lineage story, like a timeline passed down from the beginning of time. And they said that when I do it, it will be like fire. You know, when man discovered fire, it will be like fire. And that is when Isa's time would be reincarnated back into love and living. That is when the prophetical king will come and ride. And tell a story about the heavens, you know, about the timeline, which he actually been through. And for the first time, he could put it online. Damn. People don't believe that heaven and Allah and afterlife exist. Beyond that, they don't think they can defeat even AI. Beyond that, I'm not gonna live in a time where I see the revelation happening and then I stand down. I'm gonna rise as a warrior and fight against the timeline of my time as Qrofet man with the pen to write and scribe maybe down the next 50 years. Takes only to imagine. Vision is an art only visible to others. You don't see the same, you don't feel the same. We are not one. We don't live for the same reason. And I lived for Adam as Eve, the first, to scribe down time into mice. Who is Jesus Christ? Who is Isa? Who is Nabi? Who will be the prophet to go king? I want this. Why didn't the world see a face of Muhammad the Great or picture of him doesn't exist? Then how would he break down not the timeline of the prophecy, but the years? How would he tell the story itself? Like, how do you do it? I wondered. My curiosity has the answers. That's what they want. I went, okay, it's hard. It's hard, man. I just turned 1,000 yesterday. There, 1,000 yesterday.